I have now begun recording. I've now hopefully begun live on Facebook, although Facebook is a very problematic platform, as many of you may know, and this thing may take a couple of little minutes. So if you see me looking off to the side, then somebody else has got in here. Here we go. Great. Choose where you want to post your live video on my timeline. Yes, on my timeline. Because my timeline is popping. It is on fleek. Did y'all catch the reference? That's it. All right, so let us begin. How many of y'all, first of all, everybody here, hopefully everybody saw the movie?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
How you doing, Angie, by the way?
Hey.
Peace. All right, so everybody saw the movie. I don't want to preface it with my own things. I literally, if y'all know, okay, I might as well do the ground rules. As Sunshine has kind of pointed out to me earlier today, you know, some people may look at me like kind of harsh because like I'm like, yo, this is how it's gonna go and whatever. I really am only harsh and trying to push folks forward into the discussion because I could just watch a movie and talk to myself, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. Or talk to a couple of my friends. When we're trying to have these film discussions, I'm really trying to bring it out to a larger audience. And to that degree, your big brother might be a little tough or what have you, but I'm literally, yeah, I gotta say, trying to force people to have a conversation because I don't just want to do the Jamal Crawford show and what I think and my review and my lecture. It like a discussion means, you know, discussion. So I took what my sister said to that regard, and you know, it's not the first time that I've heard that, and it's true. I am hard on people. But my point is, I'm trying to force people, if that's even right, to force people to be participatory because we can't have a community conversation if, you know, folks is off in the cut. Now, look, if you have some sort of serious issue where you're like, yo, I really don't like speaking in public or, you know, I didn't watch it or whatever, then yes, you can stay to the side. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to everybody who has these opinions and these thoughts and this analysis, we have to bring it forward. So I hope everybody understands that. And in the true spirit of that, I'm trying to have a discussion. So I don't want to lead it. We'll do some little things. I just want to hear folks' initial thoughts, folks who have watched it. What's the first things that, you know, let's do a scatter plot. First things that come to your mind about it, like talk to me about the movie in general, and then we'll get into nitty gritties.
All right, I'll jump in. So, you know, we don't have to make you push too hard.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Do you prefer screens on or screens off?
That how
Okay.
you want to do it.
All right, so I'll only screen on when I'm talking. Hey guys, so overall for what it was, I was looking forward to the movie. I thought it was going to be my little birthday treat because I was just so excited to see it back on screen again. And for what it was, I thought it was overall an enjoyable movie, and there were some sophisticated messages that I was hoping that we would be able to discuss today, because I don't know if it was a matter of when we get into like the blended messages, whether it was intentional or not, because if it was intentional, it was very smart. And if it wasn't, it's something we need to talk about how we can do better as, you know, as the Black community. seeking to have a better presence in this large industry.
Thank you, sis.
No problem.
All right. Who got next?
Well, I wanted, I wasn't really gung ho to watch the movie itself, even though I was gonna watch it anyways. But I had to have an open mind just to watch that, and so as I seen it, I was like, it was pretty funny. I didn't think it was the greatest. I didn't think it was hilarious. There were some funny parts here and there. Um, it's there's some. I mean, there's certain. I think the script should have been a little, better in my opinion. I'm surprised at all the cameos that came out. It was fun to see that. But overall,
Hold on, wait a minute. Cameo was in there?
no, not
No.
no, no. But
That would have made the movie.
that would have been funny. Yeah, I know, right? But it was like a lot of special appearances popping up, and I mentioned this today. I was like, the most surprising one I saw is when the twins from the first
Yeah.
one popped up. And I was like, oh snap, they brought them in. All right, but overall, I mean, it was funny. It definitely wasn't better than the first one, but I wouldn't say it was hilarious at all. That's all I got to say. It just wasn't hilarious. I would like burst out in tears laughing and stuff, but it is what it is. And I see more
All
people
right.
coming in.
We got some more people jumping in too. And anybody else with just initial thoughts, because we're going to do a deep dive on all this stuff.
Yes. Dr. Burke, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm well. Thanks for coming through.
Oh, that's a whole doctor?
Just a half.
It hurts a little in my neck when I go like this. It's an old doctor joke.
You don't
What type of
regret
doctor are
not
you?
doing it.
That right.
Educational
You know the response. There you go. What type of doctor are you, Dr. Burke?
Educational leadership.
Okay, great. And what educational level do you deal with? What level of people?
Public K through 12.
Great. We need you in this discussion. And I know you just jumped on, and a bunch of other people, are coming in and all this type of thing. So anybody else who has seen the movie, who has initial thoughts, or just their initial take on it before we go all the way in.
I loved the movie. It took a moment for me to get to that point. Coming to America was one of my favorite films with Eddie Murphy. And what I really liked about this one is seeing the theme of like family and pulling together. There were a lot of messages in a movie that could have preached, so to speak. I think I mentioned that it was nostalgic for me. I thought it was beautiful with the three daughters. I really enjoyed seeing like the women being portrayed in a beautiful light. And I can go on and on. It's like, it's so many different things. And then we were cracking on it too. Like there was one scene, when they went to the barbershop and my husband was like, they should have been dead. Those guys was like 30 years ago. So we were cracking up about that. But overall, it's another classic for me. I mean, there were some parts where I was like, oh, okay, but I really, really, really enjoyed the movie. And I didn't read and watch the reviews and stuff beforehand because I didn't want that to taint my thoughts going into watching it.
All right. Okay. Now look, I'm having a little problem because I can't even get the back to where I can y'all can hear me though, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Yep.
You can hear me, but I can't see you. Oh, that's goofy. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Oh look, and then look there. Look, I knew I left somebody out there. All right, great. Let me-
Adrian and Dr. Angie.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Angie looking like $1,000,000.
Hello.
Look, all y'all, look at y'all. Got a nerve to come in here looking good. You know.
I
Welcome
gotta
to
I gotta blame it on church, man. I haven't got out of my. I'm usually pretty casual, but I haven't got comfy yet. I
look.
had to make sure I look good for
Alright,
y'all.
Well, welcome to Zamunda. Listen. All right. So go ahead, V. Wait.
No, I was just saying, Angie. I didn't. Are you related to Greta?
That is my oldest sister.
Y'all don't even look the same, but I never realized that. I'm like, yo, she's Greta's sister. I never
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Wow. Yeah, Greta's my Hyde Park alumni or something like that.
Yeah. So I
That's
know
just about it, brother Jabron. that's about it. Just wanna.
It's all good. All right. So now we okay. So great. So now we have a good cross section of folks in here now, and so I just want to make sure. Does anybody else have any initial thoughts they would like to express around this thing before we go all the way in?
I'll say a few words. How's everyone doing? I don't have my video on. I'm in bed. I've been watching Law and Order marathon all day, so I'm not going to put the camera on. However, I would just like to say that I thought it was very good and entertaining. I love the all-star cast. What Tasha said about the portrayal of Black women, strong Black women in the movie, I love that aspect of it. The three daughters, his wife, taking a stand against him, and I like the headdress, the costumes. I like the fact that they had a few surprises in there with In Vogue and Salt and Pepper and Gladys Knight. I love that. I thought it was entertaining as far as the dancing, and just the portrayal of Africans. I thought it was really, really good and entertaining. And I'll watch it again. And Tasha, Kevin said the same thing. Those men in the barbershop should have been dead like 20 years ago. But it was funny. It was entertaining. I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay. Anybody else? And then too, I wanna, if there anybody else needs to, say something in the beginning, I want to do that. But then I really want to implore, and I'm not being funny, but my sister Sunshine. So if you want to give us like a overview from the beginning, like, because we about to pick, well, at least me, I'm about to pick this thing apart. And I don't even know, because all of the critiques that I've heard online or whatever, I haven't heard anybody going down the rabbit hole that I'm about to jump into with y'all.
Okay.
However, Ziad has made it clear that he is okay with just getting married in the courthouse. And that's not what I was.
Is that Kari? Kari, you speaking for real?
Have some sort of a normal wedding.
Oh no, my mic is on by mistake.
Oh, all right. Your mic sounds nice. Check one. So, anybody have anything to say before we go all the way in there?
Peace, y'all. You can hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Peace,
Brother
boy,
Jamal,
Cops.
peace,
Good, bro.
everybody. Good to see
Peace.
everybody. Peace to y'all. Bless y'all. I thought it was great. It was, full of nostalgia. I mean, there's things to pick apart, but overall, I thought they did pretty good. My thing was, I was surprised by Leslie Jones's performance. Usually she's outlandish on Saturday Night Live, but I think this was like her best performance. And I think, you know, having the other cast members around her kind of held her down. But yeah, there were cringy moments, but that was kind of a surprise for me.
Yes, I agree on that.
Okay, let's go in.
But wait, you mean when you say surprise, are you saying a surprise in a good or bad way?
Oh, in a good way. In a good way. This usually is like much worse. Like Leslie Jones, her comedy and where she comes from, and the what is it, like the self-loathing and like overly sex-driven kind of energy that she pronounces.
So what you're saying is it was still bad. This was just the best of the bad that
yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the best place for it, and I think the cast kind of toned it down and like held her together, because there was actually a moment where like they were cringy, like her people were in the background, and that was part of the script for them to be like, come on, Leslie, you know what I mean?
Y'all know I was a hoe. Y'all know I was a hoe. Yeah, no, she was definitely a hoe. No, she was a hoe.
Yeah,
sure.
It was bad.
I should have been charging people for listen.
Right.
But her character is.
Okay, so Sunshine, I didn't want to cut you off. So if you had something like, you know, jump in, because you know I'd be joking with you about not having more than one comment. You know, I love you to death. You have as many comments as you goddamn want. So go ahead.
No, I was just asking for clarification on the Leslie character because I actually felt of all the characters, the one she portrayed was the worst.
Okay, good. All right, hold up. Well, somebody else is coming in, and we're gonna hold that. Cause listen, Sunshine, we gonna get all up in that. Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure we've now laid the foundation. Everybody's cool. Anybody else have anything to say before Jamal Crawford goes in on the Jamal Crawford thing?
Jamal, I'm actually going to say something.
Yes, you may. You may.
So, hi, everybody. I'm going to agree with Sunshine. Her character just, although funny sometimes, there were just some pieces to that I just had some issues with myself. So I just wanted to throw that out there, coming from where I sit. So.
Where you sit in that gangster chair. Go ahead.
My so gangster over here in the suburbs. but
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, in kind of parallel to that, or my thinking to that is, you know, the purposeful casting of her in that role. I don't know what that says, but it says something about maybe what they think of her outside of playing a role.
All right, y'all ready? I can't hold it no longer.
Go ahead, preach.
I have one more thing I want to interrupt you, because it actually prompted me to look up more about her, because I was interested to know who she was as a person. So, you know, I don't think that I was anti her. I think it was just some of the positions that they put her in. I had a hard time in the beginning, and then I really warmed up to her later, because I saw her kind of metamorphosize in a way. She evolved a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm just looking at it kind of from the cinematic standpoint too.
Well, this is actually, you know, that was one of the challenges I had. I had to dig in a little bit deeper, and then maybe this is like the underlying issue that I was saying. I don't know if there are some things that they did on purpose, because if they did, it would be highly intelligent, and if it just happened to be accidental, it would be absolutely sad, because even Shakespeare, right, in his tragedies had comic relief, and it is a tragedy that man grew up without a father for that long And she happens to be the comedic character that brings some levity to that tragedy, right? And so I was thinking of it in that standpoint, and maybe I geek out a little bit and maybe I make connections that don't exist. But the idea of yet a story conveying yet another Black man who lives without his father and was in the struggle, and his mama was just all over the place. And, and it was just, that's just a terrible story. It's tragic. And in some cases, in some family households, it's a very real storyline, right? And it's a tragic one. But then somehow, did Eddie Murphy try to provide some comic relief through Leslie? Or was it just, a convenient
one of those happy accidents, like when
exactly,
right, that stroke, oh, that worked, okay, I'll leave it. Yeah,
right.
That ain't no happy accident, right? Because and like, how could we like even? I don't want to go in yet, but I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just say this.
Yeah.
With all of the Black girl magic and Black women doing things to the epitome, and really, I don't know. I just think it was cheap to use her in that way, and cheap to have a character depicted in that way, 30 years later. And, as someone said, the father is absent. The father happens to be a king. There's no communication. And then, you have this hood mom. I'm kind of tired of seeing hood moms in anything and everything that we do, but I'll digress.
All right. So can I go, like, are the women done now?
Never. But go ahead.
Nah.
I love y'all. No, but on the real, the reason that I even opened it up like that is because this is the type of thing I want to kick off from the beginning. Because I don't want to taint the game, and I don't want folks to then like where my little ideas then guide the conversation. I wanted to see where folks is at. Okay, so now a couple things. For those that know me, folks know that I am a student researcher type of guy, right? So like you talking about, Cheryl, like looking at Leslie Jones I've been looking at her, okay? And God bless her. Y'all don't even know. Sometimes, I be up in my look, I don't want to get into that, but your boy be like crying sometimes, just like on little, like regular Black things. Leslie Jones is a person, she's a celebrity. I have on multiple occasions contemplated, like, I want to write her a letter. Like, I love this sister so bad, and I fear for her so bad. Not for nothing, she is in a mental, she's not well. Okay, she's not well. Okay. She has spoken about it to a certain degree, where she's spoken about her being the big, the Black, the ugly, the whatever. But then 30 days from now, you take that next role. Okay. I don't know, for y'all who might be in my same age category, we grew up on like cartoons, and y'all remember this thing? It's a Man. Y'all remember that?
Possum Pearl.
Okay. Well, who was that? VCR?
Possum Pearl.
Possum Pearl. They also replayed that in under the Popeye shit, Alice the Goon. Remember how Alice the Goon loves Popeye? Alice the Goon, right? Okay. So she has now become the new modern man hungry, thirsty, Saturday Night Live. Hey, white man, hey, you want to have a baby? I get pregnant. Pregnate me. She's that. It's a modern day mammy. I love my sister, but the shit is really disgusting. It's disgusting. And that whole cookie cutter image that has been cut, that she's so, I'm gonna say willingly, fits into. Because see, look, not for nothing, let's go to black male actors. You think they didn't want to put Denzel in a dress? Denzel, he was the one that told Will Smith, boy, don't you ever kiss no man. Look, certain things that certain actors is like, yo, I'm just not doing. She, as an actor or comedic actor, whatever the hell it is, has willingly, like, let's not think that she's dumb and does not understand what that imagery is. She understands very well, and she walks right into it. The super man-hungry, man-grubbing, super thirst-monger, it's disgusting. And you know, I don't want to get super into it on like the imagery of it, like it is not even proper now to talk about who is attractive and who's not attractive. But if I say this thing, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. That same thing would not work if it was Beyonce. It's not gonna work the same with the little light skin, little, you know, cut little chick. It only works with the big black.
Right. So Jamal, sorry to cut you off, but what you're saying is that it was deliberate in whoever casted her in that role and what they think of.
No, time out. Deliberate in casting her. No, that's her entire career. That's her shtick.
So then you're saying you think she deliberately auditioned for the role?
No. You messing me up. I'm saying there is no other role that she can play other than that, because it's the only role she's ever played.
So she's typecast.
No. Some people are typecast. Other people, like, I don't know what you want to call it. She was typecast, maybe she typecasted herself, and then she embraced it, and now it's her shtick. It's gone from typecasting to shtick. That's it. That's what she does.
So you're saying there's no one else culpable?
No.
In Hollywood for her playing those roles?
No, see, Sunshine, now this is where we're getting into the whole 100 questions things. See? No. Now this is what I'm talking about.
No, but you're disagreeing with opposition to your point.
No. Look. Listen to me on this and hear me here, because I'm playing with you, but I'm being for real. What I'm saying is no, everyone is culpable. What I'm saying is that in the times of Hollywood past, there were roles for Black women, you know, the mammy, the housekeeper, the this and the that. Some women took those roles and even expanded those roles by putting another level of humanity on it, or whatever the hell they took that role and they expanded it. You know what I'm saying? Other people took that role and they just show enough, all that shit from what we know from the old days to the 70s and all that. All I'm saying is that Leslie Jones, my sister, who I love, I literally, like I told you, I want to write her a letter. I wish I literally know her. Y'all know I know a lot of famous people. If I ever knew somebody who was really close to her, I swear to God, I want to have a conversation with this sister, because what she has entangled herself in, and not just that Hollywood has it for you, but the fact that you like go to that it's super sick. And it's super sick in the world now where we're talking about, you know, Black Lives Matter, representation, you know, Look, old girl who, like, you know, the first Black woman who was like in Gone with the Wind or whatever, Hattie McDaniels or whatever, like, it's not the same struggle. So whatever that lady was dealing with, I get. And that was fucked up. But now, you can't. No, you're not going to be able to explain that to me real good in, 2015 to now 2021. No, it's very different. So I don't want to at the same time too, and this is the part where I want you, Sunshine, to understand. I'm not trying to beat up on Leslie Jones, the Black woman. No, at all. This is a thing. And when we're hopefully, because look, we ain't even scratched the surface. I want to talk about the whole shit. We ain't even got there yet. But this is how deep and hurtful the pain is, where, look, yes, that first thing is bad. And like you said, the ghetto mama, the hood mama, I don't even know who I collectively slept with. I don't even know. And then look, she done drugged him, and listen. Yeah, let's get there. And let's talk about the whole thing. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
But do you feel as though if a different female was cast in the role, would you have felt better about the role itself?
Different female is in what? So for instance, the other comedian who's in there, Lunella, right? Yep. You may not know her, but other people do. Lunella.
She was in the kitchen.
Right. So for instance, you could switch that role out with Lunella. You could snitch that role out. Snitch. You could switch that role out with Tiffany Haddish. Insert any, no, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. This is not a condemnation on Leslie Jones. The only thing about Leslie Jones that makes Leslie Jones special is the fact that Leslie Jones is almost like if you're that Black male actor who you've only played the thug drug dealer, and that's what you're known for. So all I'm saying is Leslie Jones is known for the thirsty, man hungry. Oh, hey, look. Oh, look. Don't you want to have sex with me? Look, hey, look, I bust it down. Look, here's a titty. It's all this type of extra cooner. It's coonery and sexualization combined in a smoothie. And I find it disgusting. Me, myself. I find it disgusting. Like I said, I want to rescue the sister because she's getting paper and everything. I don't even understand. I don't know who her family is or who her friends are, but nobody's put her on to this. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And not for nothing, she has real chops. She could go play, what are they doing now? They're doing all these new movies, Aretha Franklin, or they're doing it. She has real chops. She could go. Nobody thought Jamie Foxx was going to be able to be Ray Charles or something like that. Nobody thought Will Smith was going to be Ali. I'm saying, sis, you don't have to, play yourself like that. It's disgusting.
One thing I wondered about with the additional characters is, did they approach the script where, all right, we're going to bring in these comedians to play these extra particular roles, and we're creating this for my people, my contemporaries in comedy. I wondered about that.
Of course, it was a big hookup, and that's okay. So look, let me get into the whole thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just was wondering if it was the character was created after they just snatched the people to be in a role, and it's okay, do this. This is what we're gonna.
Okay, so once again, forget her character. It doesn't matter because she could have. That could have been any. It doesn't matter. That's just you know.
Brought. I'm talking about her too.
Yeah, I'm saying that's mama number whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's the whole thing. The whole thing is this is a film making cookout. Okay. I'm rich now and I have the ability to make a film. And when I make that film, guess who's gonna be in it? All my buddies who I grew up with and everybody. And that's why, for instance, we're all praising this black movie. You know who also just got a big paycheck? Louis Anderson. Y'all know Louis Anderson, right?
Right.
Okay, nobody checking for Louis Anderson. Eddie Murphy just threw him a kite. You understand what I'm saying? So shit like that where we have to look, yes, Hollywood production, all these type of things. Okay, great. Bung. The woman. Let's get away from her. Let's now, it's already 7:54. We ain't even begun discussing the nitty and the gritty. So now let's get to it. So first of all, is anybody on here? A lot of people on here African. I invited African people from Africa. Like we're all, I'm African, but I was born in Boston. Is there anyone who is African from Africa on here right now? Please. Okay, that's a no. All right. So for me, this shit was so stereotypical. So, like, if a white person made this shit, I'd be outside his house right now with guns. Okay? Like, but when we do it, it's all cool. Because, of course, I don't know how many of y'all know African people. Now, VCR, you in the poetry world with me, right? So, you know Nicole, right? You know Ioka, right? Okay, you know Ormazelli, right? I mean, like all my guys, I'm thinking about who dudes I grew up with, not even poets. My dude Kaba, he's from Sierra Leone. You already know I taught Umaleni, that's Zimbabwe. I done toured with Les Nubians, that's Cameroon and shit. And so I'm not cool with making fun of Africans. And so the whole shit, like all the Africans that I know, like when it comes time, like, so we already talk to our people like this. Everyone, look, I gotta put my video back on. We all must talk to our people like this. Because you all understand, Vernon Robinson, that is my friend. That is my brother. Okay? And my brother, bro, look, that's fucking stereotypical, man. Like, the shit, it angers me so much, where no different than the only thing I'll say with the movie is it was equal opportunity discriminatory with the depiction of Africans from Africa and Black Americans who are also Africans who happen to be, born here. Okay, so you either get the hello, my brother, you get that shit, or you get the yeah, what you talking about, job turkey, yeah. So the whole thing, like we coming to Africa now, and it's like, yo, where all my people in America at? Yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? We up in Africa, yeah, Africa, yo, that's how we do it, yo, Africa, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not to mention Michael Blackson was in there.
Listen, don't even listen. I watched 3 Michael Blackson films today, brother, just to go check it. He is I'm gonna call him an Africoon. Okay. My guy, who I like, and in a lot of ways is comical and blah blah blah. But that whole I just came in from Africa. I rode here on a zebra. You don't know struggle. All this wide-eyed shit. What they said in the thing? Oh, he fought bug-eyed burglars and all that. Look, don't get me started on the literal shit, because all of this shit is literal anti-Black tropes that people don't like on the one hand, we want to act like we so woke and Black Lives Matter and all this shit, and we would not condone this shit in any other shit. But then when we see it, we laugh with it, we fuck with it on another level, and we're like, oh, ha ha ha, he. Because, okay, the nostalgia. Was it funny? Sure, great.
But
You know,
what about the Nollywood films though?
huh?
What about some of the Nollywood films though? Because the stuff that you're describing, I see that in Nigerian films and stuff too.
Well, once again, like, not for nothing, Nollywood, Nigerian films, which is basically bootleg plus. Like, where are you seeing these Nollywood films? Are you buying DVDs, or are you talking about the ones that you might see on Amazon Prime or some shit? Where are you seeing Nollywood films?
I'm seeing them both ways, but I mean, they're still made. They're still considered Nollywood. I'm just bringing it up because
no. And look,
everything you're describing, I've seen it in like foreign films too, made by Black directors and stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
But I think with this movie being like a comedy, everything slapstick and over the top. You know what I mean? So it's like everything's going to be pronounced. To me, that's how I see it.
Okay,
because
so one, Nollywood. We're dealing with third world films coming from, third world country just trying to make its impact. And what happens a lot of time there is they're trying to, recreate whatever they fucking see. I mean, there might be an African Mortal Kombat movie. There might be an African Avengers or whatever the fuck we know by now. But at the end of the day, one thing that I'm gonna say about Nollywood and all African movies is, and this is where it gets deep with it. When we look into the mindset of, it's European thing. So you got people who beautiful Black women who have full length India #5 hair or whatever the hell it is, right? And so we have multiple levels of people who are trying to, some of those Nollywood movies, for instance, are trying to repeat and recycle the whatever they saw on European or American TV. They trying to do the African real world. They trying to do, African what is it called? Real Housewives of, Real Housewives of Nigeria or whatever the hell. They trying to do all that shit and they repeating it. But once again, what ends up happening to us is America's greatest export is fuckery. Okay. we export all the hip hop shit, all the shit like I got with motherfuckers in Europe who were straight Africans who was hitting me up like, yo, my nigga. I'm like, yo, B, my dudes don't do that like to me in the hood where I'm from. Like, I'm not your nigga. If you want to see some real nigger shit, like, say it again. You see? So what I'm saying is it depends on where you at, who you at, where you at with, and all that. And all I'm saying is that these things in the movies, we have to be cognizant of. Okay, so now, African shit. Hello, my brother. Wesley Snipes. Like, what are we doing? We become characters and characters unto our own selves where, okay, what's the white boy's name who did, the Austin Powers?
Mike Myers.
Michael Myers. All those characters like, get in my belly, when he did the big what was that guy from, like Sweden or something like that? I can't remember, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Some of these big characters. So now what I'm saying is, fuck all that, fuck that white movie where there was multiple characters, white people. Now we have our own Black movie. We've made characters out of ourselves. So now Wesley Snipes is a black character in that, and his character was made to make fun of Africa. Like, if y'all ever seen a movie where they say no animals were harmed in this, in the making of this movie, one thing we could say at the end of this movie, a bunch of people were made fun of. A bunch of people were disrespected and, you know, stereotyped and all this shit. You know who was not hurt in this movie? No white people were hurt in the making of this film. You show me one aspect of this film that made fun of fucking white culture, European, American, or otherwise. And I'm going to pause right there for a minute, and I'm literally going to wait because I want other people to I want y'all to absorb that. You tell me, with all the shit, all the spoofs that was made on Africa, African Americans, you know, all that shit, hippity hoppity, all that shit. Now you tell me one time where white people were made fun of in that entire fucking film, and I'm going to wait.
I think they made fun of the kid in the office who was interviewing his son when he went back at him and talked about Ivy League and how they get over because their parents donate, you know, a library to the school or whatever, that he didn't get anything on his own merit. I think he stereotyped that white kid by showing that he gets over because of his privilege and his whiteness. That's the only thing I could think of in the movie.
And you know what, sister? That's a great point, and thank you for bringing that up. So, a couple points on that. Number one, do y'all know who that white boy was who played that role?
Yeah, he's from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's the little unfunny little pasty white boy from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
Colin Jost, what his name is.
Them other white boys I used to like from Saturday Night Live, the ones who make the rap videos and shit. At least they're funny. He's not funny. He's just a pasty white boy and whatever. And now the good part of that is what you saw is, remember, he was the grandson of Duke and Duke, right? Which was the homage to the original Trading Places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was good. So yes, you were correctly right. But see, here's the end. The joke on the white boy is, haha, you didn't deserve it, but somehow you're still in this position of power. Haha, you didn't deserve it, you didn't make it, but somehow you're still here. Our joke is, haha, nigger, you came up in the ghetto, you lived on milk crates and blah, blah, blah. Because see, that white boy, so the ultimate joke is, yeah, that white boy didn't do anything to get what he deserves, and he was still good. So that's the image that's sent, because the white boy was still good. At the end of the day, was he an asshole? Sure. Was he a goofball? Sure. Was he even in there for a minute? It doesn't even matter. Nobody cares. Whatever. But the image is that white boy is doing good. Okay? And he's doing so good, he's the descendant of people that Eddie Murphy already destroyed 20 years ago, 4 movies ago, and that's how good that white legacy lives. The white legacy lives on even in the fucking movies.
It's funny. It's just funny you said that, because even in the first Coming to America, when he dropped money off to them, he just helped them out, you know, get their riches back. So that was kind of interesting.
So now let's get on to the African thing once again. So I'm gonna say there is no depiction of, you know, whatever, all the unflattering depictions, because even if that's the unflattering depiction, the white boy, the child of white privilege who didn't deserve his thing, but he's still living great. So now all the depictions of black people, even on some king shit, you the king, but you still thirsty. You still stupid. You're weak. Your father was worried about you. The old Arsenio monkey character. Because y'all know that was a monkey, right? Y'all know that was.
He was based on Rafiki. Yep.
There you go. So listen, I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and not for nothing, we could speak on Arsenio too, because, you know, he's been problematic for years. I hope at least him and Eddie have at least had sex, because I know that's his biggest dream in life. So I hope that they've at least consummated their relationship by now, because Arsenio has been running around after that man for years, and it's pathetic. It's sad. It's actually sad. He has a man crush. Y'all know what a man crush is? Okay. Arsenio has a man crush on Eddie since Delirious.
And who told you that?
Who told? Arsenio jokes about it. Eddie jokes. I mean, like Paul Moon. Like what? Me? What do you think? I know these people. I wasn't in the house. These are.
No, I'm just saying.
This is
it's
of
interesting.
legend. This is of legend. Everybody knows that Arsenio and Eddie had a thing.
Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, you okay? Let's do it. Let's do a thing here. Is this the first time anybody else is hearing this?
No.
It's the first time I'm hearing it, but you know, I don't know everything under the sun.
So from back in the day, y'all didn't know that Arsenio had a thing for. Okay, for instance, did y'all ever see when Eddie was on like the Arsenio Hall show?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And y'all didn't see Arsenio all up on the couch like a schoolgirl. Like, can you imagine me having a TV show and having Vernon on there and conducting myself in that same manner? Like y'all didn't see Arsenio on the schoolgirl with the couch thing? Like, y'all didn't see that?
Well, I've always known that has written Eddie Murphy's coattails, and at the time when he was on had his show, he was supposedly fooling around with Paula Abdul. So I just know they were really close, just like they say Magic Johnson and
yes, and Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Exactly.
Relationship like that.
Yes, and look, and he was messing with Paula Abdul too. Yes, absolutely. Everything was going on. And cocaine is a hell of a drug. And it was it's LA. It's the 90s. What I'm saying is that there's a certain relationship that translates in my belief, that translates into what they say, art imitates life. Okay. So let's go back to the film discussion. In Coming to America, what role does Arsenio Hall play to Eddie Murphy?
His subordinate.
Well, manservant, concierge, kind of like a Jerome to a Morris Day. You know what I mean? Okay, now watch this. Now I know V for a long time. Yo, I'm a pretty fly dude. Check this out. Yo, V, I don't want you wiping me down, my guy. We're going to be good, and we're going to be brothers, and we're going to be brothers on the same level.
Right, but Jamal, in the monarchy, and from whatever country that, that from whatever country, quote unquote, any depiction of royalty, so to speak, females have female caretakers and males have male caretakers. And so I don't know if that kind of for the movie itself makes any difference.
No, I got you. All I'm saying is all of these positions, these are not positions that are like, they just making some shit out about the blue. No, all I'm saying is they become exaggerated positions. You see? So for instance, with the Arsenio Hall character, it was not just that he was, the right-hand man, not just that he was, the Batman and the Robin, you know what I mean? No, but like, we also have to make it known that he's like a bitch. Like, the father doesn't respect him. The old man spit on him twice, right? Okay. So all I'm saying is these are the extra levels. I'm not saying it like, look, anybody could look, if I'm that guy, I need a right-hand man. I've had right-hand people in my life. What I'm saying is you're not gonna get subjugated or sunned, or now like, you my right-hand guy. I need you to be like, you're not my bitch. You know what I mean? Like I don't, in fact, trying to diminish the spirit of the person next to you is actually what gets people killed in the long run. I don't want to diminish your spirit next to me. I want to enhance you. I want to be brothers and partners and let's move forward. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not into that. But once again, in this whole movie, this is what we're talking about. Multiple different things on relationship aspect. We still ain't really even got on to the whole the African thing, which is really what I want to dive into. Just the super negative depiction of Black people at every turn. Africans are just, is
that your opinion, or is that I think that's your opinion of from your viewpoint. And there were some references, and subliminally, we can digest exactly what you're saying.
Tell me the positive takeaways for Africans, please.
No. Right now I'm just speaking on your characterization of from your viewpoint, and how,
because overall I'm saying it's negative for Africans, and then I'm saying if anybody has anything that they can pluck out that is positive for Africans out of this, please present arms.
So I think one of the things that was positive is, in spite of all the caricatures, right? When they were in that church, right, trying to get married, and the whole idea was, the prince could live in America if he wants. The groomer, wife, bride, basically explained to him that there's value in going back home to Africa, right? So there's this whole concept of, in order to reclaim my life, I need to go back to America, right? Like this whole American dream, land of the free, blah, blah, blah. I would be, I'd be captive here, et cetera, et cetera. I have to go back home to whatever this mutated, it really reminds me kind of a Stockholm syndrome, right? We have all of this racism and systemic structures of oppression, and yet that's where he wants to go home to find his freedom. And it's the African woman who tells him, no, you need to go back home to the home that's your real home in order to find your life, right?
And to marry his queen by a Jerry Curl preacher with socks on and no pants. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about.
But she's the one who said, no, go back home to Africa, right? Africa's your real home. Africa's a real place where we have the freedom and the life that we need to have. So, even with all of those layers, there was still a return to Africa. There's value in Africa,
And let me ask you this too. How long they knew each other?
Not very long.
Not long.
Yeah. Can I jump in?
No.
Okay. Good night. What I think is happening with this film, because it's a comedy, it's supposed to be lighthearted, but it's very heavy material. I think one of the things that happens in like Hollywood or whoever's directing it, producing it, we do put stereotypes out there. you know, with my own personal experience, this is not on, you know, the level of Coming to America, but I was involved in a film. It was directed by an African writer, producer, and I only saw my script. I read my script, did my script, and that's the only piece that I saw. At the end of the day, like when they had the premiere, I watched it and I realized, oh wow, you know, this is about an African man coming to America and being influenced by Black Americans. Unbeknownst to me, I was the negative Black American. And I think that's kind of what we do depending on where we are on the map. Sometimes we take these stigmas and we let it roll like, okay, you know, this is what Black Americans do. Africans that come from, you know, from Africa coming to America, do not be tainted by these Black Americans, because they will have you, you know, smoking and doing drugs and drinking and womanizing and everything. You know what I mean? That may have been my fault because I didn't do enough research on that character, but it was after the fact, you know? I think a lot of that happens.
Europe. Anybody else got something to build on that?
Hey, everyone. First of all, I want to admit I didn't watch the movie. I came here to vibe with my people before I watch it. I personally didn't like what I saw from the trailer. I knew it wasn't going to be what it was before. Let's keep in mind it's a comedy. It's satire. You know, it's like, you know, we of course we're going to make fun of ourselves. You know, I you know, when you talk about Michael Blackson, he does that specifically. You know, he does that to make fun of himself. Does it help our people? Absolutely not. Is it putting money in his pocket? That's the reason why he does it. So to the brother that just spoke about you know, him acting, you have to be really careful because you'll end up in a Coming to America movie, you know, bringing down your people. So you have to be very, very, very careful about how scripts are, especially when you sign your rights over. You know, they could be using you any old kind of way. That's all.
Not for nothing. Any of y'all who have Amazon Prime or whatever, you should go look up Michael Blackson. There's a little thing called Two Rich Africans. And if you want to see the depths of the depravity it gets to, like he's another person. Like I want to write a letter to him. Like I don't know. Like, do these white people have like a couple of his children in captivity, like in Africa? They're like it's bad. And so, you know, I'm all for that too. And okay, let's get to that point. The comedy aspect of it. I'm a funny guy. Hey, not for nothing. Atia, you know, your husband is Joey. Joey knows I'm a funny guy. I've been funny since the 80s. Cracking jokes. This is what we do. We crack. We do all this. So I get comedy. You dig? Now, the thing becomes where, like, after all these years or whatever, then it becomes like, how much is like a joke and how much is really like, yo, so this is really what y'all doing. And so when it comes to the Black stuff, you know, all of this has been done before. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, so we still doing nigga jokes? Like every nigga joke that could be, look, if Richard Pryor ain't, you know, whatever. So I'm like, look, impress me. Let's do some new shit. Which is why, let's say like the Dave Chappelle's or whatever, who toyed with a lot of those same concepts and whatnot, but they were able to frame it in such a way that it was something with something else. It could be some of the same, you know, base level comedy shit, still a nigga joke, but now it's a nigger joke with a higher level of, you know what I mean? And all I'm saying is, much like rap, a lot of these motherfuckers just chose to stay here with it. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't expecting a bunch. It's as a superhero fan, I don't know how many of y'all just saw the new Wonder Woman movie. Everybody trashed it. It was, everybody trashed it. Wonder Woman, the new movie sucked. I'm just an old kid from comic books. I liked it. But I liked it because I didn't expect much from it. It's fucking Wonder Woman. It's the comic books. I'm not expecting, War and Peace. You dig? So it's Wonder Woman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. It's great for me.
But I think
But
that's
with the
how
black
people
shit,
feel
it's
about
different.
coming to America.
What happened?
I think that's how people feel about this Coming to America film. Like, we're not expecting, we expect funny ha-ha jokes, but we didn't expect revolution or anything like, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to be in that class.
Well, that's the part that I'm trying to say. Where it was like, yeah, no, what were people expecting? Malcolm X? No, of course not. But our level of expectation needs, I believe, needs to at least be a level of expectation that when you're doing something like Coming to America in this new age of wokeism and all this type of shit, that you're not going to do the base level shit that we've already established that is no bueno in terms of hello, boy Kabulus. I know you do rap music. I know you like, bruh, how long is this gonna be like everybody this is the African thing. The African
It has to be like a universal conversation. We have to be talking to, like you said, like you was calling out your African friends that you invited. If they're not there to talk to them and be all like, hey, this is what's going on this side, we got to change some things on that side, you know what I mean? Then kind of, it's like we're the choir.
It's fucked up. And not for nothing too. And once again, not for nothing. All black people look bad in this movie to me. Outside of, when I say all black people look bad, part of self. No, outside of all the nostalgic and all the romanticized shit that we like, when it's doing, the Lion King scenes and, Mufasa, and everybody's dancing together and all that shit we love, right? But other than that, the real depiction of black people is really not good. So we have the African motherfuckers who are off into some old, cultural fuckerism and blah, 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 blah. And then we got the New Jersey people who's like, yo, Africa in the house. And you know what I mean? Like it really incorporated the best of both worlds of the stereotypes of the best of the worst of black shit.
Right. This movie, it feels like an inside joke that we're not supposed to share with the rest of the world. But in order for the rest of the world to get that joke, you know what I mean? We kind of gotta throw them in. There's like funniness in the ugliness, but it's like for instance, like what Larry Wilmore cracked that nigga joke with the president in front of all those white people. Oh. And I kind of felt like offended. I love Larry Wilmore, but I was just like, damn, bro, like that's kind of like behind the scenes. I want to call the president a nigga to his face in front of a sea of white people. You know what I mean? That's for us. But I don't know. It's Hollywood.
Why would you not call him what he was in front of a sea of white people? Why would you hold that back?
I mean, I think it was a critique, and he may have been right in that moment, but I feel like that's a critique between me and my brother. I'm not gonna call my brother a nigga in front of all these white niggas. You know what I mean?
We don't talk about that in front of company, that type of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jamal, you thought the first Coming to America was fine with the stereotypes and everything? Did you have a critique of that one as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just what's funny about me is I wasn't so popular then. So nobody gave a fuck about my critique then. And you know, we didn't have YouTube and like shit where people could even be giving critiques and you know, so on and so forth. But yeah, I had problems with that then. I mean, but the same thing is in terms of like I just did the Wonder Woman thing. I can still love a thing. I love things. Look, I love all Pam Grier movies. Still recognizing that Pam
Me
Grier
too.
was objectified and you know sexualizing, but like all them old black exploitation movies and shit, I love that shit. But I also recognize at the same time it's fucked up. Like so, that's kind of how I place it. You know what I mean? So for me, Coming to America, the first one, uh masterpiece. Yes, this one was a masterpiece as well, right? But what we're talking about right now is the complexities that deal in the masterpiece, and also too, the first Coming to America, we didn't have, you know, the Me Too movement, we didn't have Black Lives Matter, we didn't have, you know, whoop-de-whoop-de-wop, you know, all of these type, we didn't have the benefit of all of these type of things, you know, that we know now. You know, if I could go back, I would critique some kid and play rap videos. You know what I mean? But like, we're here now, because I don't want anybody to think that like I'm a hypocrite, and also too, what did I just say? I don't want anybody to think I'm a hypocrite, and then I also want you to all know that I'm a super hypocrite, because at any time that I'm talking about any of this behavior that I find disgusting, at some point in my life, I'm sure that I've exhibited it. Cocaine is disgusting. I've sniffed it. You know what I mean? Disrespecting black women is abhorrent. I've disrespected plenty of black women. You see what I'm saying? So at the same time, when I'm talking about it, we also got to be real with it, where like, yeah, this is, you know, real, know better, do better. And I can't put my 1985, 1995 lens on now what I know now.
No, I agree. I just think that with this one, I went into it looking at it as being entertained as I did the first one. And we've evolved, of course, from 30 years ago, but you still have some stereotypes even 30 years later. But it was still entertaining, and you're always going to have that in some movies that is about entertainment and comedy. And I didn't look at it as being, you know, profound or in depth. I just like the visual. I understand about Leslie Jones, her role in the negativity that portrayed, but she wasn't the movie. So overall, I just found it entertaining, but I went into it looking for it to be entertaining and funny and comical.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that to a certain degree. I think there's the very sensitive balance between um being entertained and holding ourselves accountable to do more because we know better. I think I approached it the same way you did, like just being entertained, but also looking at the positive light of it, right? There was a lot of branding that was so clear and in your face that, you know, my family just kept saying, how much did Pepsi pay for that placement, right? How much did
Yeah.
Sprite pay for that mention, you know? How much, and just their ability. And then if you notice, even one of the princesses, right? Her outfit, that green and white outfit, had a nice big Puma logo right on it.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
So there were very subtle messages about the power that we currently have to pull all these placements, right? Because they know that, you know, like I'm a big Coca-Cola fan, right? I mean, to the extent that, it's healthy enough to drink it, but whatever. Pepsi trying to, come out like, like the Michael Jackson brand, right? Remember those days, right? To be able to still have that pull, to me, was pretty noticeable, right? All of the branding placements that they were able to fit in that one movie. Was definitely powerful, but it also had enough. I think there was a deeper message to that. And then just the ability to pull all those folks in and make sure they all get paid to put something like this together.
Right.
So there were underlying messages about, even though we have evolved, right? There's still room to grow. Like this whole story about, the three daughters, and the three daughters are the ones who really saved them against
The kingdom.
the dictator, right? And the ones who beat their father, and they had to listen to the women, right? That whole thing about what would Cleo say? What would the women say? That the women had the wisdom in the room. And that matched up with identifying that, when the bride was like, yeah, I always wanted to be married by whatever she called them, but she basically, you just highlighted the fact that there's a lot of misogynistic messages out there,
That's the
right?
part I didn't like. I don't be
agree.
listening to women and shit.
Huh?
Stop it.
I was like, hold on, what? No. But so the message had evolved a little bit from the irreverent comedy and caricatures that were in the first movie that was so vulgar that I was like, I totally forgot how bad it was until how in your face it was, until I watched it with the kids so that they could appreciate the second one. So the message had evolved. I guess the question is how much are we expecting it to evolve?
Well, okay, so that's the part where once again, okay, so it's a comedy and it's, all these things. And so what are we looking for? This was like part of like, ABC after school special type deal type thing. Over the generations, we've looked into this a lot more than it even was originally, let alone like what it is now. And not for nothing too, if anybody has heard the types of things I'm talking about, where we're often given information from people who like shouldn't be. So for instance, look, in our community as an activist, look, if Jamal Crawford ever comes on a thing and tries to give you sport advice, don't listen to me. I don't know anything about sports.
He ain't
But
lying.
if you're right, and neither does Vernon, you could tell from his choice of teams. So 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 stuff like that I won't chime in on. Now, if you're talking about Black history or something like that, I'm your guy. So now the thing is, we have to like hone in on who is what. Now, if we were looking at Eddie Murphy to give us a Black history lesson, we were already, delirious. See what I did there? Right? Because Eddie Murphy, God bless him, he's been through his own thing and, he knows a lot of people and blah, 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 blah. But he's not a Black historian. He's now bona fide part of Black history. He's made a mark in Black history, but that does still not make him a expert in Black history. You know what I'm saying? And he knows comedy, and he knows Black comedy or whatever to a certain degree, whatever. But like, my point is, when we look at these little movies, and it's not just the movie, but who's doing the movie. And what are we looking at? Even right now, Judas and the Black Messiah, which we just did the other a couple weeks ago. Certain people watch the movie and then think that you have the full historical account. You think that like all of this in this little hour and a half nugget? So, okay, let me bring it back to Coming to America. in these things, a film like this coming to America, it's just a film. You know, they did the first one, now they're doing the second one, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, it's out. We're all watching it. Great, wonderful, blah, blah, blah. The real thing is the emphasis of the fundamental things that are underneath that. And that's the part we have to dissect. And whatever is in that film, whether it be family, whether it be going back to Africa, whatever the some of the underlying elements in there are, do we think that Eddie Murphy is our teacher? It's just a movie. So that's the part where I agree with everybody. Like, I was never looking to this to like solve all my black problems. You know, I wanted to see it like everybody. It's fun. It's fun. Hey, what happened with McDowell's? Hey, great. They got a McFlurby. Great. Hey, wonderful. Okay. But what I'm talking about is now Eddie Murphy and all these people who live in real life, they know better now. And a lot of these other things were still perpetuated. Once again, the African, the bug out, hello, hey, what are you gonna do? All this type of stuff. Like, I don't know if y'all know Africans or whatever. I found it very fucking offensive. I found the African shit offensive, and I also found the African American stuff offensive, where our first time we going to Africa and we like, yo, Africa up in the house, we in the house, up, Zamunda. I'm not with all that shit. So
Jamal, hi.
Yes.
How you doing, Jamal?
Go.
I just wanted to say too that as I watched it, I couldn't understand who it was being programmed to, what was the target audience, because I mean, if it was it a family film or was it an adult film with the words bitches and all the sexual innuendos being thrown around constantly? I mean, I couldn't understand it. And to me, a lot of the cameos were pretty unnecessary. They added nothing to the movie, you know. I mean, as far as I was concerned. But it was really hard for me to watch this movie. Very, very difficult for me to watch it. I found, just like you did, that it was very stereotypical, that it was just, to me, it was lazy writing, and it didn't challenge you. And from Eddie Murphy, I expected more, because I like Eddie Murphy as a comedian. And I think that he could have done a much better job. People are saying, oh, well, he put Black people to work, he did this, he did that. And that's okay. But if I have a Black contractor in my house with Black workers and they do a half-assed job, I'm not going to be happy about it. You know, so I'm not going to sit here and give him a pass for doing this movie, because I don't think that it was done to his best ability. And that's just my opinion.
Okay, now let me speak to that, because now that is a fact. This might be one of the Black movies that really did hire the most people, and, you know, Tyler Perry Studios. And I made the joke in the beginning. I was talking to a couple of my guys when I first watched it. I was like, yo, I think some of these scenes, that was Eddie Murphy's living room. Then I come to find out a lot of them scenes, they filmed it in Rick Ross's house, which is actually, you know, Evander Holyfield's old house.
Right.
Whatever. So I, you know, little stuff like that I find funny or whatever. But, you know, so God bless. Black caterers got paid. You know, I know a sister. V, you might know her too. She's a poet, sister. Raw Floista. You might know her. She whatever. She was up in there. Like, oh, so good. Like, they literally did that. They literally employed. That might be like the biggest employment Black movies ever. Like, they employed people. So that's great. But now, like you said, what you employed for? And, you know, and what's the thing? And, you know, I have big ideas, and I really wish that this was not our prototype of like, look, as black people in America, you know what we're fucking with? We're fucking, oh, pardon me, and I'm so filthy right now, but we're fucking with Wakanda and Zamunda, both of which fictional places. Nobody want to get down on the real, like, you know what I mean? B, was you on the thing the other day where we talked about the $100 thing?
I don't think I was.
We talk about $100 on, like, everybody throw down $100, like we gonna do some black people thing, and there was a whole bunch of people on there. Everybody talked, and then I put a thing up, and then like, this is, nobody's, you already know how this goes. We've seen this a bunch of times. My point is, do we want to make our own films? Like, what are we doing? Like, we're making up fictional places and countries and figures and whatnot. We have our own creativity amongst our own selves, I believe, to illuminate and highlight stories that are real, like, and we might not have the ability to do like, Avengers production or like a major Hollywood production or something, whatever. But for instance, we know our good brother Henry Hampton, rest in peace, Black Side Entertainment and what they did with like, Eyes on the Prize 1 and 2 and things like this. And what I'm saying is like, gee whiz, they did that back then with no technology, no money. Like I think these people were working with like VHS tapes. Can't what can we do? Hello.
I find that the important stories that should be told, that are told, tend to be written and produced by independent filmmakers, like Hollywood per se, like big business, given the green light type. They don't put the money towards those type of stories. So the indie filmmakers, they do it.
So what story do we need to present to who, what people? Because we have these abilities, and I don't want to, get off on that tangent, but like
Right.
what I'm saying is we had, let me quote $6 million. We have the technology. Okay. So everything that we're like, all of these films that we're discussing, we also have the ability to make these films, or at least, if not a theatrical presentation of a film, at least a documentary or whatever, or Boston. I could put y'all on to all the project right now I'm trying to work on called What's Wrong with Boston? Right. So we build on that. Back to the movie. So
back to the movie. Can I
back to
just
the movie. Go ahead, Sunshine.
I'm gonna say it too.
You got
It's
5
kind
more
of
questions?
this discussion is, as I've been sitting here listening and thinking and this is a little bit depressing. And I say that it's depressing because I'm feeling like, now let me just make a disclaimer. I like the movie. I did.
I liked it too.
Okay. I like the movie. But this is depressing because it feels like I should also be guilty for not examining it to the point where I identify or no, that I acknowledge some of the stereotypical and the I don't want to say prejudicial behaviors that are apparent. And I don't want to connect them to Black Lives Matter or the feminist movement, because I don't subject to either one of those. I don't like that. But like, I just kind of want to like a movie. I kind of want to just be able to be in that fantasy world of the made up land, and just leave it at that.
Sunshine.
Right? What?
Look, I just want to interrupt you just for 2 seconds and just say this. This is the story of my life, where like I tried to explain, I liked Wonder Woman, even though it sucked. I recognize it sucked, but I liked it because it's Wonder Woman. It's, whatever. Certain things, like I can suspend all of the negativity, all of my super hypercritical black mind, and I could just watch movies. There's a bunch of black movies that have been about black historical periods that, like I've been like, oh, that's, but I could like it or not like it or whatever. So I get that. What I'm saying though is let's do the critique. Like I like the movie too.
Right, but it's always a critique. And then I get it. No, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. This discussion should not be. We shouldn't be having this discussion as it is happening right now, and the opinions of everyone and all that stuff picking apart. I was just basically making a point where, it's kind of depressing that something that I think many of us have looked forward to for the past 30 years in a nostalgic kind of way. Even if you go back 30 years ago, like if you think I didn't want to be Lisa from the hood, going my ass to Zamunda, and so it was just like a nostalgic thing. I'm just saying that, it's kind of depressing.
Can I just say too that Sunshine, I agree with you. I wanted to like this movie, I really did, but when you watch and the opening scene is just a huge Pepsi commercial, you kind of know where the movie is going from there, and so that made it a little more difficult. I was like, what is this, a Pepsi commercial? And it's a big Pepsi commercial, and just like Jamal said, there's a lot, or somebody else said, there's a lot of commercial placements there, and I didn't appreciate it, I didn't like it, but I really wanted to like this movie, and it was difficult after just being set up with a commercial at the very beginning.
Hey, not for nothing too. All right, so I know I've been talking for a grip. Some other people done chimed in, but I want to make sure like other people who haven't necessarily chimed in all the way, if you still tuned in, put your voice in, because this is all about a discussion. That's one of the few rules I have, is everybody needs to participate. So come on, somebody interject.
Can I talk? Jay, can I talk? Jeez.
Yeah, okay, I'll allow it this time. Go ahead. All right, okay.
I'm just kidding, bro. I wanted to say it threw me back to Warner Brothers when I was a kid, and I'm watching the Mammy character, and all you see is her feet and slippers. And I remember being, 5, 6 years old, and my sister, who's 6 years older than me, she's 12, 13, but having a little knowledge of self, she comes and checks me, and she's just all like, what do you think is so funny? And I'm like, this is hilarious. And you see how she's running from the mice and jumping on the table and the chairs. And she's just all like, but Joe, they're making fun of your mother. They're making fun of mom. And that's the little self-check that I was just like, oh, wow. And ever since then, I feel like I've had this scope where I could laugh and watch the movie, but then I can dive deeper into the context and where that originates. You know what I mean?
So
that's
time
why
out.
I appreciate this conversation.
Do y'all know what Boycott Blues is talking about? Because what he's talking about is the man. I know VCR knows, so don't you even say anything, VCR, because I know you're a trivia man. He's talking about the character that was visible in the Tom and Jerry shit. It wasn't Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
It was the Tom and Jerry you're talking about. It was the black lady who was never visible, Tom and Jerry. And right now, with all this Amazon and blah, 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 they just recently released like yesterday, a new Tom and Jerry movie. I
Yeah.
wanted to hit those people up on the Tom and Jerry movie and say, hey, is the black lady in it? Okay, because that's what you're talking about. Thomas, Thomas. That's what you're talking about. And yes, that is the Mammy character and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's from Tom and Jerry. And I don't know that is Tom and Jerry Warner Brothers? We have to check that out because I know that Bugs Bunny and all that, certainly Warner Brothers. Tom and Jerry might have been another one, but we'll check it out. And bang, bang, bang. All right, go back in. I know Sunshine has something else to say, or Natasha, somebody. Come on, y'all, chime in.
How y'all feel about the lion scene with the cat food?
Which part of the lion scene?
I guess when what's his face, Jermaine, was it Jermaine Fowler?
Yep.
Because he was trying to get the lions on whiskers, and then he used some cat food.
Yep.
On the bamboo cage, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
I think people's making comments about that.
Give me a breakdown. Like what's the science on that? Talk to me.
No, I was just saying that I guess they were saying lions enjoy cat food or something like that. People were saying that's just so unrealistic or something like that. I don't know. But that's
unrealistic, or was it a euphemism for something else, right? Because if you think about, lions as African Americans, right? Oh, we could still be fed cat food, or we could still be duped with cat food, right? And then, so that was one of the things that I was just like, is that a smart teaching like they're trying to tell us? Or was that just, yet another parody that, is that we were just supposed to gloss over? Because a lion would never eat a can of cat food, right? Not a natural lion, and it's, it would have actually gone off after the bigger guy, right? And so they were talking about that whole bait and switch thing, right? And so there's a lot to decompress in that whole idea of, could you get the bigger prize, the actual human, the actual bigger piece of meat that would have been more satisfying? Or are you just chasing that little can of over processed, meat that just happens to be the shiny thing that gets thrown out at you, and you get away from the real prize?
Can I speak to that?
Yep.
I like the strings that are attached to the thought. Because I feel like you could take anything and find the connection to, our historical upheaval. We actually had, we were live bait. There were babies that were thrown in for like alligators. You know what I mean? So that I could see that definitely.
Yeah. So I was wondering how much of it was sophisticated messaging wrapped into comedy, or how much of it was just, as we were saying in the beginning, happy coincidence.
So, at least for me, I believe that a lot of this is okay. I don't believe that the people who put this together know that, like, we would have to assign such a super level of knowledge to them, right? That would make them like a genius level to encode all this crazy shit in their thing. Okay. I don't believe Eddie Murphy is a mastermind genius. I just don't. So I believe a lot of this stuff, what it comes from is osmosis. If I've been brought up on white supremacy, and I'm a creative person, I'm a poet, I'm a rapper, I'm a website designer, I'm a graphic designer, but I've been brought up on white supremacy, I'm gonna produce websites and graphic design and poems and raps that are reflective of the white supremacy that's been put in me. You follow what I'm saying? So to me, Eddie Murphy and crew are only capable of producing what the fuck they can produce. Once again, we're talking about Eddie Murphy. We're not talking about Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? So these people are producing these things which are funny, they're cute, they're whatever, whatever. But on many levels, they're also toxic as fuck. And now we can play around with that or not. But yeah, it's toxic as fuck. Some of this shit is rape culture. Some of this shit is anti-African. Some of this shit is da 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 da. And he's our favorite guy, and we all love his movies and all that type of shit. Like, but if he ever try to fuck with my daughter, I will put a fucking steel rod through his fucking forehead. You understand what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? What what is it that we subscribe to? Who is it that we value? Who is it that what is it that we love? What is it that we do? What is it that we treasure? Because like for some of us, we say things like, oh, we only love like this or that. But then part of something. Let me make it more clear. We say we love Black women. Everybody would be clearly in agreement with that. We love Black women. Great. Then there's some other shit over here where we say we love this, which is clearly destructive to Black women. So we love Black women, but we love this thing that is also destructive to Black women. I can't rock with it. Does not compute. Do y'all follow what I'm saying in regards to a movie where I want to feel all the beautiful things, but all of my beautiful feelings end up getting tied up in all of the ugly stuff. I wanted to feel African pride in this movie, but what I got caught up in is, hello, how are you doing? You cannot mess with me, my brother. My brother. Come on, that's not African empowerment. That's goddamn stereotype. And if a white person did it, we would be, well, maybe we wouldn't be, but I would be ready to rampage in the streets.
I think
Talk to me, y'all.
I think all of those things are true. I think that it was a money grab. Somebody mentioned all of the different product placements. Somebody mentioned how it was done at Rick Ross's house. I think it was a money grab. It was an opportunity to get a lot of different money from a lot of different sponsors to pay a lot of different Black people at the expense of all the different things that we're talking about. I was looking forward to the movie for all the nostalgic reasons that everybody mentioned earlier. But I think the money grab part of it, the opportunity to throw all of these people in it, I didn't like the salt and pepper thing at the end and all of those people that were put in Zamunda. I didn't like McDonald's in Zamunda. I thought it was just it was overdone a little bit, and I didn't like it.
Hold on, wait a minute, brother. That's not McDonald's. There was no McDonald's in Zamunda. That was McDowell's.
Whoever they are. It was overdone. It was a scene, that particular scene, it felt like they were trying to put everybody in the scene. What is the white boy doing in Zamunda? At McDowell's. He ain't gonna go to Zamunda to open the first McDowell's. So I thought it was overdone. I thought it was a money grab. And so it was good for all the Black people that got paid, but it ruined the movie, I thought, for those people who are looking for that nostalgic, coming to America too.
So what y'all wanted to see?
I wanted to see a good product. Somebody mentioned earlier how the writing was bad. So if it was a well-written Coming to America 2, I would have enjoyed it. Yeah,
but what was missing for you? What if you had your ideal, what did you think was gonna happen in the movie?
It was too much in it. It was, I'm fine with the storyline. I think it was just too much. And take all the hokey stuff out of it, you know what I'm saying, and make a sequel to the first one.
Oh damn! I was trying to hit my button. That's a fair question. And listen, for me at least, what I would be trying to deal with is I don't need as much as the fake accents. That's really one thing that really just bothered me. You know what I mean? So the whole, once again, as I've done it before, hello, everybody. I'm not with a like that really it bothers me, it offends me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Michael Blackson and he's African and I don't like that. So I would have did without all that. Then in terms of I could have still dealt with the storyline. Um, how many times did they say the word bastard?
Right.
Yeah, they said that a lot.
A lot, like maybe like 150 times.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that
so
did bother me. That bastard word bothered me.
That bothered me too.
it was a bunch of bastards in there. And
Bastard,
and that
bitch,
seemed
all
like
that.
a dig at the overall status of like I don't know black man and like I don't know I just okay that was weird to me.
It was like nigga bitch in the way they I don't know how many times they said nigga bitch in the U.S. versus Billie Holiday movie. You know what I mean?
I ain't even seen that yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
No, it's all good. We might have to do another film discussion because I haven't watched that one yet.
Call me for that one.
Did you already discuss One Night in Miami?
No, we didn't do One Night in Miami either.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Well, okay. Yeah, okay.
Who's that called? Well, Dad, we can't talk about it, but okay.
Like I said, this is gonna turn into a whole thing. We're gonna have to do a whole bunch of different little discussions on all because the good news is for the good, the bad, and the ugly, a lot of black films are coming out, whether they are black in subject matter, whether they are black in production or whatever, and some of them are good, some of them bad, some are ugly. We can talk about it all, but the good news is, hey, shit, all of a sudden we got something to talk about. We got different black films and all these different little levels. All right. So right now, because now it's 9:00 and we're about to wrap this up.
Okay.
No, go ahead. You got something to add on? Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to bring some light to it because it's an interesting thing. This was like the nicest I've seen, not to go back to Leslie Jones, but it was like, it was like the most, how do I put this? Like pleasantly packaged delivery of her in that.
Even though she fully date raped somebody.
Yeah, that was bad. But I mean, like dressed, like everyone was dressed well. The hair was nice and everything. I appreciated
that. Stop. So what I'm saying is, okay, boom. Ladies,
let's go.
If there was a scene in the movie in which, I hollered at you, blew smoke in your face, and then the next thing you know, I'm banging you, what do you call that? Is that called rape?
That's rape.
That's rape. Right. My definition. You know what I mean? And so even that, and once again, going to her specific little trope that she has of the whole, it's a man. It just, like when you say that this is the best depiction of her, that
is bad.
Bad. That like it's a sad statement of like her, because you might be right. This might be the best depiction of her, but that just speaks to the fact of what a whore muffin that she has been, and y'all feel free to use my terminology, whore muffin.
But
How
see,
she
this
has been goddamn packaged to this world, G.
right,
And
right.
that's a whole, I don't even know how old she is. I don't even think she's not older than me. I don't think. I'm 50. I don't think she's older than me. Like
She's
is she in her 50s?
67.
She's older than me.
Yeah.
Is she older than you? So
Well,
that means she's older than dirt. Damn.
Right.
That VCR, y'all don't know, that's Dirt McGirt for real. That's the original Dirt McGirt. Listen.
Not to change the subject, but I'm looking
VCR
forward.
so old. Look, he was around when the Steelers used to be good.
Oh.
But not to change the subject. I know before we bounce, I want to see what's up with this whole Marcus Garvey film supposed to be coming out with Winston Duke.
That's gonna be, huh?
We just about to do film reviews. Like, look. Yeah. We're gonna keep this going on. Is that what everybody's saying? We're gonna do film reviews. Every black film that comes out, we just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Hey,
mean,
look.
the conversation has to start somewhere, right?
Hey, look, can I throw some things out to y'all too? Like, y'all want to do some off-brand something? Like, I would love to do a film review of one of my favorite films. It's not like a current film, but like it's old school VCR. I think you might have seen it. It's called Street Fight or Coonskin.
I'm not saying that.
Wow.
You remember that, V?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, cartoon / real life. It's like most of my first album is sampled off of that.
Yep.
Street Fight or Coonskin by Ralph Bakshi.
Yep.
White
Same
animator
man did-
Ralph Bakshi.
Same man did American Pop, Heavy Metal. What's that?
I can't talk to you, V. You know all this stuff. No, you can't. This boy need to be on Jeopardy.
So I want us to talk about the potholes in Boston. That's how I want to talk about it.
Now we doing potholes.
I'm about, well, I know we're getting ready to wrap up, but I got some issues in my city right now that's really annoying me.
Damn, now we doing potholes.
You tell me, act like I'm lying. Tell me them potholes ain't killing you out there and killing your undercarriage.
They are here.
Well, listen, all right. So look, let me be real quick on
I
potholes.
just had to say that. I don't know.
Let me just be real quick on potholes. Potholes is because of people who plow with the snow and they don't know what they're doing and they be digging up the ground. So
no, I know that, but I'm saying like they ain't gonna come out and like put a little bit of gravel in them or something.
Nah. And
What-
you know what?
what's
Not
the-
for nothing too. I got a message specifically from the mayor where I heard specifically they're not doing your block because you be talking all that smack. They was like, yo, we're not doing
I be all over
block.
the place.
We're not doing Sunshine's block. We had they said they had GPS for everywhere you travel, and they was like, everywhere Sunshine travel, we not putting down no gravel.
Yo, I could believe you because they don't even answer me no more.
Hey yo.
What's the
look,
next film? What's the next film we're gonna study?
I don't know, man. Listen. Oh no, not for nothing.
The Billie Holiday?
No. Oh look, and somebody just is trying to come in. They coming in way late. But look, not for nothing. Real stuff. The next thing I was trying to do was really going back on the other film that we did, which was the Black Panther joint, which was Judas and the Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to get. I need to really holler at. I really need to holler at Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and see if he's willing to do a discussion. And then we'll do a community discussion, which is not. It'll be a film, but like it'll be different, like community discussion type of thing. So that. But then the next movie, it could be whatever. I just gave y'all one movie suggestion. There's a bunch of different ones out there right now. I mean, not for nothing. Has anybody looked at the remake of the classic Native Son?
Oh, nah.
See that yet?
Oh, that's been out for about a year now. It's on HBO, and you ought to have HBO Max. Without giving up any thug dizzles, the young man, y'all know the young man who's in it, but it's a new take on Native Son, and it's a contemporary take. It's like it's in the modern hip hop era, whatever. Go, check that out. Like if y'all tell me what you want to discuss. I don't care. I'm up for it. You dig?
Yeah.
And then
Can we put
look, Kenyatta, who just came in because he's late as hell, because he's on Color People Time. Kenyatta just came in and he just said the Billie Holiday joint. So that might be the next joint. We already talked about that there. So, maybe, that's the next joint. I don't care. Y'all do me. All y'all have my phone number and my Facebook. This is the discussion. God bless you
excellent
all. Let's talk. Let's do it. Whatever you want to do, I'm game.
word? That's dope.
Word.
All
Bless
right.
y'all.
This
Thank
fun.
you, y'all. Thank you. I love hearing y'all. Jamal, thank you for putting this up. Peace and
Let's go.
blessings.
Yes. Blessings. Thank you.
Yo,
And before we go, does anybody who is still on who may have something to say, who didn't say anything, are there any last words?
well, I just want to let y'all. Well, I just want folks to if you get a chance, can we mention? I think Boycott mentioned Tom and Jerry. The original Tom and Jerry were these two white dudes.
Hanna-Barbera.
No, not even Hanna-Barbera. It was way before that. These two white guys, and it was like a black and white type of cartoon, and they got this episode called Plain Dumb, plain as an airplane, and they made fun of Africa. If you go on YouTube, whatever, go type it in Tom and Jerry, Plain Dumb. It was back in 1932 to be exact. It's
Okay, I'll check
crazy.
that out.
Tom and Jerry playing dumb.
Yeah, plain as an airplane. That's how they spelled it.
Hmm. And so, plain dumb, got it. Oh, yeah, that's early days.
That's part of the whole, you know, exploitation of black people and Africans.
Yikes.
All right.
I got one more, Jake. I was thinking about the movie The Spook That Stood by the Door, and I was wondering in what time frame was that, and like, how far away from that was Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton, and the Black Panthers. Like, when did that story come about? Is it connected somehow?
Okay, so when you say what do you mean? The novel, the film, or like what do you like the time period that it was in?
Yeah,
Like,
the time period.
yeah,
Because
so
I
the time
understand
period
that
it
The
was
Spook
in.
was in Chicago, and I'm thinking like,
Yeah, it's the revolutionary time period. It's set in probably like the 70s, the early 70s. I would say the 60s, but no, it's really the 70s, and yeah, that time period, and it's a somewhat fictitious, you know what I mean, like take on what was happening in America and everything, but at the same time too, it's like it was really what was happening in America. So it's, you know, it's a almost like one of those what I'm gonna say, like Tom Clancy or something like that, one of them joints where it, you know, it mimics a specific time, but that's not, you know, it's as realistic as it could be without without it being a true story.
Okay.
You know, and that time period would be the 70s. You know, like him recruiting those, you know, those gangsters from that time period, the little whatever the fuck they are, you know what I mean, with their little dungarees on and you know all that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting with the like, you know, that dude's a black FBI agent, and then, you know, with with this character, the Judas character, kind of being overtaken by the FBI and forced to do this or whatever.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, no, so no, there's no correlation in that regard. So okay, in that thing, in revolutionary circumstances, people be like, yo, I'm gonna go in, like, yo, they say, I'm gonna go in and change the system from the inside. Most people that go in actually get changed by the system. They don't change the system, they actually get changed by the system. And there's other people that go in and another thing. So what you that part, because I didn't understand, I thought you were just talking about the movie in general, but yeah, no, that thing, yeah, no, he was not a person that like he was a person that went in to get the juice and bring the juice back out to the thing. He was not a person that got, you know, turned and then, you know, became like, you know what I mean, like in it. You know, he was never a Judas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can't, and not for nothing, and that is a true and that is a true story, and that, no, when I say true story, that is a story that has repeated itself a bunch of different times. I mean, not for nothing, your homeboy here. I've never been in the army. How do I know army training? Somebody showed me. Spook was sat by the door.
Right.
Good night.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you,
Peace.
bro.